Good evening from Quakes Stadium, Sholl, Wollin, with you alongside the rest of the team. Jamon Moore, Alex Morgan, Joel Soria. Good evening to another Black and Azul pregame live. A big game tonight for the San Jose Earthquakes. They're looking for their 5th win in their 6th match, and they're looking to beat one of the big teams in this league. In fact, the MLS Cup champion Seattle Sounders, a team that has not been the best team for this Quakes team under Matias Almeida to face when it comes to individual matchups. But they are looking to get a win tonight, or at least some sort of result tonight. And joined by the rest of the team, of course, and Joel Soria, what does it mean tonight for the San Jose Earthquakes here at Quakes Stadium? And of course, they're going for their 3rd win in a row as well here at home.
Good evening, Charles. Good evening to all of our viewers. I think that tonight is definitely a big test for Almeida and company. Obviously, last time around, a little over a month removed, the Quakes suffered a terrible, terrible loss against the Sounders. Obviously, I wouldn't want to bring it up, but it's set in stone, right? 7-1 in Seattle tonight. They are able to get revenge on a team that is the favorite to win MLS Cup, according to 538. And definitely, in my opinion, the best in the West. A couple of changes for the Sounders, mostly in their back line. One change for the Quakes, if I'm not mistaken, and Alanis coming in for Beeson. But a win tonight would honestly be a huge, huge momentum booster and a big sign of legitimacy for the San Jose Earthquakes.
Just one change for Matias Almeida's team. Osvaldo Alanis slots back in at that left center back position. As you see, Tommy Thompson, Alanis, Youngworth, Lima, JT in goal, Judson, Jackson Yule, Andy Rios, Espinosa, Fierro, and Wando. Jamon Moore coming to you here on the left flank of our Section 113 little makeshift gantry that we like to be at here. Tonight, the Quakes take on this Seattle team. And this is a Seattle team that has gotten the better of them with Matias Almeida at the helm. What would tonight mean to get some sort of result? What does it take tonight after a thrilling win against the rivals LA Galaxy in the California Clasico?
Hey, Charles. Good evening. Good evening to everyone. So it's going to take a real defensive effort to be able to shut down the Sounders tonight. The Sounders are a highly potent offense. They have 2 strong wingers starting tonight in Christian Roldan and in Jordan Morris. If the Quakes can't find a way to shut them down and prevent Nico Ladero through the middle of the pitch, it's going to be a tough night. Now, no Raul Ruidiaz because he's with Peru just like Marcos Lopez is, but it's going to be a difficult time because Seattle is very good through those wings. They love to get in behind. Recently against the LA Galaxy at LA, they got 3 goals, all from counterattacks, all playing the ball in behind and getting in behind the Galaxy. There's a ton of pace here. It's going to take a lot to be able to slow them down.
Alex Morgan, coming to you. We heard from Nick Lima in midweek at his press conference. I think it was on Friday, so I guess it wasn't midweek. I guess it was at the end of the week. Pardon me there. But the fullbacks, they really got up and down. Tommy Thompson had a goal in this game, a wonderful goal. And Nick Lima had 2 goals. He opened the scoring right on the stroke of halftime, and he had one in the 90th minute as well. In terms of fullback play and getting up and down the flanks and what they mean to the attack, where do you see them kind of playing in tonight?
Thanks, Charles. Both Nick Lima and Tommy Thompson had really strong games against the LA Galaxy at midweek. Tommy Thompson was subbed on in the second half. He scored a beautiful goal. Nick Lima got 2 goals from right back. And that's in part because the LA Galaxy pinched in a lot and they did not exploit the Quakes down the wings. Now, as Jamon was just saying, the Seattle Sounders are a completely different matchup. They have 2 of the most dangerous wingers in Major League Soccer. So I would expect a different strategy from the Quakes tonight. And we got a chance to speak to Nick Lima yesterday in midweek. And he talked about that. He said that the Galaxy was a team that pinched in, so it allowed the lead side fullback to tuck in. As one went up, the other went back. Their wingers didn't seem too hungry to capitalize on us moving forward. So we were a little more free to find that space. It was a good game, and we show that we have that capability. and that we still have cover and can shut down counters when we're paying attention. But here's the key. But I don't think we're going to do that every single game. Seattle is a lot more dangerous on the counter, and they prove that they can open us up. We're going to have to be careful, and I think you're going to see that less this game. You never know. The game's fluid. You've got to read it and be ready to take your opportunity when it comes. But with everything he said, I expect the Quakes will play much more defensively tonight. I think that's the best chance to get a result tonight. And look, that's something that they've shown that they've been able to do against LAFC in Portland, to make that tactical change and have that tactical flexibility. That's one of the things that sparked their recent turnaround. One of the reasons they've got 3 wins in their last 4 games. But even so, I just think Seattle are on another level tonight. And if the Quakes can keep this one within a goal or 2, I think that'd be a good outcome.
Jamon Moore, in terms of the data, in terms of what you're seeing, what are you seeing? And we talked internally just before we came on, but what are we seeing here in terms of shots and possession and outside backs becoming wingers and wingers becoming outside backs, etc.? Show us what you got.
Yeah, if we could pull up the shot on goal chart there, Jason. So what you can see here is a game by game number of shots on target or shots on goal for both teams. You can see which games the teams are winning, losing, and getting a draw in right now. Seattle is susceptible when they can be shut down to 6 or fewer shots on target. The Quakes are obviously better when they put more shots on goal and can get more than 6. It's really important to be able to shut down that attack, as I mentioned earlier, for the Quakes to be able to be successful tonight. And so that's what it's going to come down to, is that type of defense. They're going to have to limit the number of opportunities that Seattle gets while maximizing their own opportunities in order to have a chance to be in this game. As we mentioned before, Seattle is very good on the counterattack. Nick Lima's already said that he needs to drop back. My question is, which side is Nick Lima going to be on right now? Because you have Christian Roldan and you have Jordan Morris. I'm not quite sure if he's going to be on the left or the right, but I get a feeling it's probably going to be Morris on the right. I could see the Quakes, seeing how the game goes and switching sides if necessary.
Charles, I think that Jamon, I think that you have to have Nick Lima on Jordan Morris, whichever side he plays, because Morris has so much pace. I think he would just, he just has too much pace for Tommy Thompson. Nick Lima is usually the man that marks the opposition's best winger. He did that last week against Christian Pavon, and he shut him down so much that Pavon actually switched sides in the second half because he had so little freedom in the first. And I guess the tricky thing about Christian Roldan on the other side is that he plays more in the half spaces. He drifts in between the fullback and the central midfielders and the center backs, and that makes him difficult to mark. So I think Tommy Thompson will have his hands full. And given his defensive susceptibilities, I'm a little worried about that matchup.
Joel Soria, are you worried about this matchup tonight?
Well, I'd be lying to you guys if I said the Quakes were going to treat this as a walk in the park. It's going to be a tough task for sure. What I'm looking from this Quakes team, or what I'm hoping for, is that they'll come out a bit unconventional, a bit unorthodox, as they did against LAFC. We think back to that 2-1 victory in Los Angeles that, really flipped the switch within this team and turned over their sorrow into happiness. And I think a similar game plan needs to be utilized tonight. It needs to be deployed. Why? Because LAFC has a lot of what Seattle has. They have a lot of attacking pedigree. They have a lot of creativity in the middle. They have solid defenses. As we know, they've been the favorites in the West for a handful of years now. And I think that Matias has little to no wiggle room in having to deploy a more defensive scheme than, a style that we've seen in the last couple of games.
Jamon, in terms of Seattle's makeup, let's talk about that just here for a second.
Sorry about that, Charles. Yes. So very quickly, one of the things that we've noticed about Seattle is that they are more susceptible on the road. Of course, that makes sense. but they have played 10 home games and only 6 away games. One of the reasons they're squarely at the top of the table is not just because they're good, they're dominant at home, but on the road, they haven't been quite as dominant. In fact, on the road, they're only getting a little bit over 1 point per game. And so there's an opportunity for the Quakes tonight if they do the things that we talked about, if they're able to shut down that attack, if they're able to get their own shots on goal, there is a decent chance of them being able to get points tonight. And if they can get points tonight, they're going to be in really good shape for the final 4 games coming into the playoffs.
Yeah, tonight, certainly a big night for the San Jose Earthquakes. Let's go ahead and show you the standings really quick, just so everybody kind of knows where the Quakes stand right now. They are in that 7th position right there, 23 points, 18 games played. Vancouver just nipping at their heels, 18 games played on 21. Real Salt Lake, 18 played, 21 as well. Just above them, but 2 games in hand, is FC Dallas on 24, Minnesota just above them there, and LAFC goes all the way to the top there, and you can see Seattle on 30 with 16 games played, and just below them, Portland. I do want to ask this really. Well, actually, I guess we will save it for our post game because the teams are coming out. So enjoy the game, everybody. We'll see you on Black and Azul post game. Thanks so much for tuning in. Charles Wollin, Joel Soria, Jamon Moore, Alex Morgan, and Jason Sholl commands the ship from his steering wheel. We'll see you soon.